We are live. Hello. Uh, Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, bite-sized training. How are you? I have it all in front of me, I think. So if anyone is watching, do comment so that I know that the comments are working. Facebook is finicky, it works when it wants to work, and one way won't work the same way the next time. Anyway, we won't worry about it. Technology is as technology is. So tell me, did everybody have a beautiful weekend? Is everybody totally in love with their life and business this week? And if not, what's going on for you? Let me know in comments how you are feeling today. Good morning, Linda. Thank you for your comments. Great to see the comments because I know it's working and all is well. So that's great. I'm getting comments. Tell me how you're feeling today, Linda. You seem very high vibe. Linda's in my membership group and loved your goals this week. It's great. It's great to have that sense of direction on a Monday to bring you through the week, and to be working on not only the doing in your business, but also the being in your business, which is you. So today's Tuesday bite-sized training came to me after the weekend. So I was talking in my membership group about the weekend that I had. I was with my brother and I visited the estate where I grew up. And the estate where I grew up was the roughest estate in that whole city or town or whatever you call it. And I think when you're in that position, you don't quite realise maybe how bad it is until afterwards. But when we went back visiting it, there was all rubbish on the side of the roads. And I mean, it just looked so rough. I mean, even being in the car, we were like, okay, let's just drive a little bit faster through here. But it brought up a lot of emotions that I used to feel when I was younger, when I was living in that estate. And one of them was, I don't care what it takes. I will get out of here. I'm not going to live here. I do not like it here. And I mean, there was generations of families in that estate. So that's not how everybody thought. Obviously, some of the girls on my street are still there. They're happy being there, and nothing is right and nothing is wrong. It's just as it is, and they're obviously happy there. But for me, it was, I will get out of here. And fast forward, 30 years. And I did, and the moral of that story was, often we think we're not reaching our goals because we always have new goals all of the time. But actually, if you look back, you will realize that goals that you did have, even if you weren't setting them on paper, have come true, and that you are manifesting the life that you think about, whether you do that unconsciously or consciously. And it was that story that then gave me the inspiration to do today's live. Okay. And it's all about creating, it's all about how you don't create abundance in your life. It's about how you create barriers. And that is based on that sentence, how it's related to the first part of the story is, often people live, or a person living in an environment or a situation, and they don't know any different. So, our minds live on yesterday unless we program it differently. Okay. So often we create barriers in our lives based on our surroundings as we're growing up. So if you take me in that estate growing up, it was all very much, we don't have as much as other people, or we don't have, money's not for us. I took on a lot of beliefs living, I took on a lot of beliefs living in that situation, such as, money's just not in our family, or I remember money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to save your pennies and save for a rainy day, and all of that sort of stuff. But anyway, from that young age, they were the beliefs that I had. So you can see those beliefs are very different to the positive beliefs that you can also have, such as maybe money is abundant, or, you know, depending on the environment that you grew up in. Okay. So when you have this set of beliefs, okay, they're barriers. Okay. They create barriers in your path to freedom. And ultimately, we all have, we all have goals. But I bet everyone listening to this, the end goal is probably attached to freedom. You know, whether your goal is monetary, or, moving house, or new job, or new business, whatever, they all relate to freedom, because you want the freedom to choose ultimately. Isn't that what we all want? We want the freedom to live the life that we desire, the life that we feel called to live, the life that gives us that feeling of passion and growth and expansion and abundance, because isn't that where all that high vibrational stuff is in life? Linda, I'm good, thanks. Was a bit all over the place yesterday, so I went out for a walk and got back to my task then. Seeing a lot of numbers the last 2 days, 222, 111, 444. Awesome. The ones and the twos I used to always see through periods of turbulence, and it's the universe letting you know that you're supported. You are supported. You're on the right path. Keep going. Totally believe in those numbers. And just diverting for a quick second, I kept seeing flamingos. And I mean, everywhere. There were teddies in the shop. There were stone creatures in the garden centre. They were on the TV, cartoons, children books, everywhere. I was seeing them. And then I was like, something going on here. And I was shopping and I seen like flamingos on clothes. And I was like, oh. So I put it into Google. I was like, what's this sign if you keep seeing flamingos? And it said, if you keep seeing flamingos, it's a sign that, or reminding you to bring in balance, keep that balance into your life and bring in balance. And that was actually a great reminder to me. So we are given the exact things that we need at the exact time. And how magical is it when we open up our awareness to that? Because if my awareness wasn't open to taking those messages, then I wouldn't even notice the flamingos everywhere. Same as you probably wouldn't notice the numbers, Linda. So let's fast forward to adulthood. Okay, we're strong, ambitious, high achieving women, and we've got big goals, and we want to achieve them now, not next year. We don't want to be hanging around and waiting and all of this, because we want change, we want freedom, and we want all of the good stuff. So how then do you bring in those results now as opposed to next year? And what I mean by next year really is putting off your goals to a future date. Okay, we often have goals and we'll put some on a vision board, and then we'll say, when I complete this training, this is what I'm going to do, and when I finish this course, this is what I'm going to make, and so we put conditions on becoming the future version of ourselves. Okay, so that's what I mean by next year. It just means there's always like conditions and a timeline, and we're putting this stuff over there somewhere. That's where the goals are. So then how do you change that? How do you bring your goals in now? You want them now. You don't want to be waiting around. And the very simple answer to that question is, now if you think you know this answer, tell me in the comments, or even comment and let me know what you think it is, and let's see what comes up for you. But it comes down to, right, you don't create abundance. Okay, you don't bring in those results now. It's not something that you say, right, today I'm going to go and create that, I'm going to get these goals today, and that's it, and I'm sorted. There's not a magic ingredient for you to be able to do that. There's not a magic strategy, and there's not a magic step-by-step plan. Here's the thing, we create barriers. Okay, so it's not that we can go out there and create the results in our business today that we want to, or life. It's that we have to remove the barriers that are stopping us from the results that are our right. Let me know if you're with me. Let me know if that makes sense to you. And when we realize that, and when we understand that that's what's happening, that that's actually the formula, that we had it the wrong way around, then you simply remove the barriers that are in your way so that you can see the results in your business, so that they can manifest. Now, years ago, when people used to talk to me about manifestation, I used to say, oh, stop, don't even talk to me, because I didn't believe in it. I thought that's for lazy people. This is what woo-woo people do when they don't actually want to get off their ass and do some work, because I was a hard worker. I worked day and night, and I mean, it took all of my life savings. It took practically all of my sanity at the time, and I was drinking a bottle of wine 3-4 times a week to get through the stress of that life. And guess what results I was getting? Nothing. Like, I lost everything. It was there was no results that I wanted. Okay, woo woo, yeah. And so when all of that failed, and then I was sat in this dark place going, oh my God, I'm maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe I'm not meant to be successful. And again, these are all beliefs. All, I could have accepted that as truth, but I actually decided, no, I reject that. That is not true. We are all successful. And then I started looking into, okay, what went wrong? What did I do wrong? What can I change next time so that this never happens again? And when I did that, I realized that I was trying and burning myself out to create this business and create this life, and it was never going to work. What I needed to do was look inside and say, okay, what's going on here? What's not working? What beliefs are keeping me stuck? What can I remove so that I can, bring in that success? So as soon as I realized that, I was faced with the reality that, manifestation is a real concept. It's not woo-woo, it's not fake. And then bring on Joe Dispenza, because I love science and I read his work. It's quantum physics, like, it's science. They're proving so much every single day. I mean, which is taken away the fact that really we should have faith. But now it's proven. So it's very easy then to go all in when you realize that actually manifestation is real. It's for real life. It's not a joke. And actually, you think that it's for people to do, lazy people, which is what I say, people that don't actually want to work. But it takes so much effort to actually bring yourself to that state where you can allow success to happen, where you can remove the barriers and let that success come to you without all of the constant doing and burnout. Does this resonate? Do you find yourself manifesting easily, or is it a constant, internal battle? Because we see our parents, we grow up, they work hard for their money. You wanted more money, you worked more hours. Definitely in my house anyway. What was it like in yours? Because often reflecting back and looking at that is going to start to uncover what blocks are in your way. When you begin to uncover them, you can begin to remove them. And when you begin to remove them, all of a sudden people will send you a message and say, I've been following you for 6 months. I want to work with you. I'm not sure if I'm still live because my video has just said it's got trouble playing. If anyone is watching, let me know. Just jumped on. Hi, Sarah. Let me know if you can still see me, guys. It says it's having trouble playing the video on my end. So I'm just not sure. Just now on you liked it, so maybe you can see me. I can see you. Thank you, Sarah. Okay. it must be my screen then. So yeah, so we were just talking about bringing in your goals now, okay, not in the future. And basically, thank you, Holly. Basically, what that means is that we have to let go of the need to try to create the abundance, by doing more and working more. And we actually have to look at the barriers that we have created in that process from growth from childhood all the way up, and remove those. So it's not about creating abundance, it is about removing the barriers. Helen, hi Helen, how are you? It's lovely to see people hopping on. I love these trainings when I have people here with me. So it's choosing a different formula. It's making it easier. I have lived this. I have gone through the hustle and the burnout, and let me tell you, there was very little success with that, financially or otherwise, or emotionally or anything. And I have done it a different way. I have gone down the Joe Dispenza route, I call it, because that's where I learned that actually this is all science. It is not woo-woo. And it works. It absolutely works. So how do you remove the barriers? We spoke a little bit about looking back into your childhood, asking yourself questions. So depending on what area you're working on, we'll go with wealth, money wealth. There's lots of different types of wealth. And we'll look back. So you can ask yourself questions if you were focusing on wealth, such as, what money stories were in my house growing up? So for example, what money stories could they be? I mentioned a few minutes ago, money doesn't grow on trees. It could be rich people are greedy. It could be rich people are bad. It can be anything. It could be the opposite. Each money story in your house is valid to you. And if something pops into your head, you're not sure even where that came from, and you can't remember a direct memory to it, it's still valid. So you would write that down and still work on removing that. So how would you remove it? You simply reframe. Okay. So what I often do, I will look at the money story, or any story and belief, and I'll ask myself, is this true? Is it true? Now, sometimes you will look at a belief and you'll say, well, actually, I don't know if it's true or not, because maybe you genuinely don't. So in that instance, you can look deeper into it. Well, why is it that, and this is a belief clearing method. Well, why is it that I believe that? Where does that come from? What could happen? So you're digging deeper into the belief until you get to the root of it, where you can say, this actually has no roots at all, and it means nothing to me. And then you can let it go. You can simply let it go. That is one way to let go of your beliefs, is to simply let it go. When you've done enough digging to realize, to get to the bottom of it, that you're like, this isn't true, this doesn't mean anything, and then let it go. Another way is to, if you ask that question when you look at belief, is this true? And you say, well, no, it's not. Get rid of it. Then reframe those beliefs, put a positive spin on them, and record them into affirmations. And if you record those affirmations with your own voice, it's 10 times more powerful. You're literally reprogramming your own mind. And it's so, so powerful. And often people just don't give enough time to this part of their life and business when they're moving towards their goals. They want the goals, they're willing to do the work, and they put in 10, 12, 15-hour days. But when it comes to the stage of actually looking inside and doing the internal work, we don't want to do it. Because it can be a lot more eye-opening, a lot more uncomfortable than working 15-hour days, and that's a fact. So that's the process, okay? One of the processes that you will go through. And of course, if you are the woman that is noticing that you've so many blocks coming up, that every every time you want to move forward, you feel like you're moving back. If you've got that internal chatter that says, who the hell are you to do this? Or you're never going to be successful. Or, if that internal voice, if the imposter syndrome is constantly rearing its head, and actually you're finding it really difficult to move forward in your life and business, when you can see, at night when we lay our heads down, we know what we're capable of. We know it when we're in that silence. We know what we're capable of, and the ego mind tries to get involved and pull that back. If that's happening for you, okay, if you're avoiding stuff is coming up for you and you're avoiding it, maybe you're avoiding it through procrastination, maybe it's through food and alcohol, but if you're finding ways to avoid what needs to be dealt with head on, then I invite you into my Heal and Align program. The Heal and Align program has been extended. It's part of my 6-month aligned energy success system that brings my clients huge results. I have a wealth of testimonials at this stage, and you'll find some on my website, probably all the way through this page. If you want any, let me know. The Heal and Align is one of those 6 steps from that system. And I've extended it to dig deeper than it ever has before. And what does that look like? Okay, so Heal and Align, the extended 1-module program, which is all about facing your barriers head on and removing them, runs for 6 weeks. We start on Monday, July 5th. That is next Monday. I am literally going to just put a link into the comments now. So if you want to read a little bit more about it, you can do that. And you can send me on any questions that you have. If you have any questions about that, it's group and one-to-one. So it's really intensive. There's training, there's recorded hypnosis, there's one-to-one hypnosis, there's one-to-one coaching, there's group Q&As. You're really going to be wrapped up in a blanket of love and security while you move through that process. So if you want to bring in your goals now and not next year, okay, work on removing those barriers, either on your own or with support. Because ultimately, that is how you manifest the results in your life and business. If you think of yourself as a vessel, okay, let's pretend that we've a little hole at the top of our heads, okay, let's just pretend that we've holes at the bottom of our feet, right? And we pretending we're a vessel, okay, and the results that we want, they have to come to us and through us. So if you imagine that for a moment, right, and then imagine you've got all this internal chatter and you're not good enough and you can't do that, or all this stuff that we carry with us, all of a sudden you go like this, don't you shirk away from doing lives or meeting new people, or taking that bold step in your life or your business, because we're just like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. So then this results, if you think of it as a white light, it can't get in, it can't flow through you to give you the results that you desire. And ultimately, that's sort of what it's like. You need to clear the path, the energetic path, so that you can receive the results. It's not about getting out there more and doing more and all of that. Yes, there is a strategy that everyone can follow. But how does Miss A make it and Miss B doesn't? And I've just explained exactly how the results can be so different following the same strategic process. So that is it. If you would like any more information or if you have any questions, pop a little heart into comments. I'll send you a private message if you'd like to chat a little bit further, or you'd like to ask me some questions one-to-one. Just pop a heart into comments and I'll send you a private message, and you can ask me any questions you have. All the details are on the Healing Align page that I've just posted there into comments, and you can read everything about it. Everything is up there. See if it's something that you feel aligned with. See if it's something that resonates with you. If it does, and you'll have that feeling, yeah, this resonates with me, but, and then we get the conscious buts. Ignore those. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then that's totally fine as well, but if it resonates with you, send me a private message, ask me any questions you have. Let's open you up. Let's get this valve open so that you can receive the results that you want today, not next year, now, and become that person now. There is no tomorrow when you think about it, is there? We only ever have today. So go and have a fabulous week. It's always my pleasure to be on here with you. And if you have any questions, pop them into comments and let me know how you get on with clearing some of your barriers. Lots of love.